Hey guys, this is Nathan, and welcome back to TechNodeFirmaCraft. So, I have been trimming the saplings from my fruit trees, and I've got quite a few of them. I haven't done the apples yet because we still haven't had our second apple harvest, but I'm getting a few fruit trees, and that is for what you see here in NEI right now. So I have the ultimate goal. Let's see, I don't have the book with me, so we're going to have to go grab our engineer's manual. I have the ultimate goal of getting the mining drill, I think is what it's called. So we'll take a look at the engineer's manual here. And so what we're wanting to make is this mining drill. Now this thing is plenty easy to make. I could actually make it right now. The heavy engineering block is the most complicated piece in it, but it requires biodiesel to run. Now, biodiesel requires a combination of seed oil and ethanol to be produced. And I have tried in a creative world, there is no way to get the ethanol from Immersive Engineering. We are able to use, however, the ethanol from Forestry for Minecraft. So to make the ethanol for Forestry for Minecraft, we need to run a still. The still, we use biomass and it turns it into ethanol. We get about a 30% yield on that. The biomass we get from running water and mulch with some type of a plant, or we can use the bamboo from the Mega Plant Pack. So the bamboo is probably going to be the thing that we're going to be using because we can get tons and tons of that, but we can also use saplings. They give the most biomass of anything, but we need the brown compost that you just saw, the one that looks like this. Let's see here. So it is this one. So to get this stuff, we have to put a mulch into fresh water. Well, mulch comes from our regular tree saplings and some type of a fruit tree sapling. If we look at the uses on these black steel shears, we can see there are 6 types of mulch, and all of them require some type of a fruit sapling. So this is probably going to be my most popular one, the maple and oak saplings with green apple and red apple saplings as well. So that will give us the mulch. The mulch then we can use to the oak mulch, or whatever tree mulch we can use to get our forestry mulch. And we'll get a little bit of this mixture, and I don't think there's any use for that stuff. So once we get that, we'll be able to start making the biomass. From the biomass, we will be able to make our ethanol, and then with the ethanol, we can run that through the refinery with some seed oil, and we will get our biodiesel. So it's going to be a very involved process, and it's not going to be something that I'm going to be able to do right away. But now the good part about being able to use the forestry seed oil and ethanol is that to make the Immersive Engineering ethanol, it's either the ethanol or the seed oil, you have to have lapis lazuli dye. I don't remember if it's for the fermenter or if it's for the other one. So if we look here, give me just a second. Oops, wrong thing. So here, we'll just clear that. And we'll look up Immersive Engineering. So the Immersive Engineering we need on the fermenter. So it is the fermenter. You have to have blue dye or lapis lazuli powder. So apparently it's available somewhere in the world. I have not found it anywhere. But since the machine doesn't work, there's no point in wasting our time looking for it. So we're not even going to bother. Now, of course, I have been continuing to milk my cow whenever I get a chance. But I am already using the first block of cheese in my sandwiches. So thankfully that is helping out my health, and you can see I'm up to 1040 now, and we've got the cheese here in the food prep area. We are getting all 5 of our food groups from each sandwich that we eat now. So that's good. Pretty much every time that I eat, my health goes up. So, yep, that's great. Got a little bit of a bonus there. And also, I wasn't really paying attention. I had to replant a couple of the cherry trees because I finally leveled the ground here. But I wasn't paying attention, and these trees right here are olive trees. Well, olives are harvested in autumn, which is when we are. So I came over here, I was cutting all of the branches off of the trees, and lo and behold, I had 4 trees full of olives. So I went ahead and harvested all of that. I got enough olives to make 5 more barrels of vinegar. So that one is, I think, the only one that I wasn't able to convert. So we got 5 more barrels of vinegar. That's great. That will help us out when we get our apple harvest. And also a couple more of the things here in the garden have ripened, but we are looking at winter coming really soon. So today we are going to try to do a little bit of work on Mekanism. So, as I was saying, I need to be able to make a Crucible, and I have not yet head out to get the graphite because I've been wanting to be here when my apples are ready to harvest. So, I'm going to do some coal mining for a little while, wait until we get to the late autumn apple harvest, and then I'll head out, go get my graphite, and then I'll come back and we'll take a look at making some Mekanism machines. So before we head out to the mines for the graphite and everything, thought I would show you a couple of things. First off, on these harvests, I think I figured this out, that this is a range of harvests. That's why I was continuing to get apples from the new leaves on the trees, because it was still time for the harvest. So that's why I was getting that. Secondly, you'll notice my health is extraordinarily high now. I'm at 1274, and this is from having the balanced diet. So if we take a look at my health now, my dairy is on the rise, my fruit is on the rise. But the other thing is when you're making your sandwiches, you can't always put the same thing in the same spot. So I had my vegetable over here in the last slot, and I started to get my vegetable to drop. So actually, for the next few sandwiches, I'm going to put it this way so that I'm getting my dairy very heavily. To maintain the level up high, you need at least 2. The 3 is going to give it to you really fast, and the 1 is it's going to start dropping back down. So right now I should start to see a decrease in my protein from not eating as much. Now it will bring it up if you're eating some of it, but I don't think that it'll maintain it. So, yep, you have to kind of rotate your stuff around there every once in a while. But now the next thing is I've woven up 8 wool cloth, and that is so that we can make this sleeping bag. And this will allow us to sleep at any given moment without having to worry about resetting a spawn location. So first off, we need to make some carpets. So we need 4 carpets. And then we need to turn the rest of these carpet or cloth into wool, because this will not work with the cloth. So then we've got the carpets and the wool, and there we go, a sleeping bag. So now this will take the place of a chest plate if you have one on, but you can sleep pretty much anywhere. And when you stand up, the sleeping bag is removed, and it didn't reset my spawn point. All that it did was reset the daytime. And that is a feature I really wish that would be put into vanilla Minecraft. But I have a few sandwiches ready to go here, and as you can see, I made myself some black steel tools for when my regular tools start to go bad. Also, I planted my banana trees that I found, and I kind of planted this one in the wrong spot, so once I get a few saplings, I'm going to move it. But it looks like for making the mulch using banana saplings is going to be the easiest version. It only uses 2 of them. So, I'm going to grab myself a boat here, and I'm going to take off, and let's see, this way. And, yep, go grab that graphite, and we're going to work on some mechanism stuff. Stupid frickin' bears. No, you're gonna die, buddy. Sounds like a frickin' dog. Come on, just die already, buddy. Ow. Now, even in the water, they move fast. If I had some fish, I would see if I could familiarize him, but There. Ow! Stupid thing. I hate bears. Even with just getting hit a couple of times, that did a lot of damage to me. The lucky part is they don't respawn after you kill them, so... Yep. Back to it. So I'm back at the base. I got tons and tons of graphite while I was gone, so I've got 20 stacks now. I shouldn't have any trouble. I also made up 16 fire clay, so I should have plenty of stuff to do this. So we need to make a crucible, and actually we need to make a couple of them, and since there's really not many other uses for the fire clay, I'm going to go ahead and make a third one as well, because we just might need it. So now the next step, I'm going to drop this back off in here, but our next step is to make the blast furnace blocks. So we'll come over here and grab some of these wrought iron sheets, and looks like we'll drop 2 more of these in here, and we need some flux. So we'll put the flux in there as well, and of course click to craft. So that should be done in just a second, but so we'll go ahead and make our 2 blast furnace blocks, and there we go. Then we'll finally be ready to make our mechanism machines. So we needed the metallurgic infuser. Whoops. So the metallurgic infuser takes 2 of those, 1 osmium ingot, 4 steel, and 2 redstone. So we shouldn't have any trouble with that. I think I put the osmium in here. We need 4 steel, which this is the steel. Yeah. Okay, so there's the 4 steel, and then we need to come down here and grab 2 redstone. Alright, so it was blast furnaces top and bottom, osmium in the middle, 2 redstone, and then 4 steel around the corners. There we go, metallurgic infuser. So now we'll bring this down here and we'll place it right next to our rolling machine. We will need 1 piece of low voltage wire and 1 low voltage wire connector. So we'll go ahead and hook this up. There we go. We should be getting power here now. Yep. Now that's going to take a long time to charge up. But so transport config, side config. Wow, they've changed Mekanism a little since the last time I remember seeing it. So, anyway, we should be ready to make that, whatever, control circuit now. So we'll come down here and grab some of our redstone. And one thing that I was looking at was getting the crusher and the... I can't remember what it's called now. Let me just look up Mekanism. There we go. So we needed the crusher, I know that, and it wasn't chemical injection chamber, not purification. I can't recall now. Well, if we look up, say, hematite, we look at the uses on this. Enrichment chamber, that's what we need. So we want the crusher and the enrichment chamber. So the enrichment chamber takes a whole bunch of red steel double ingots and the advanced circuit, which needs the enriched alloy. Enriched alloy is redstone plus the iron ingot. Now the reason that we want the enrichment chamber, if we look at the recipe for redstone, grinding redstone in the corn gives us 8. But running it through the enrichment chamber gives us 12. And since redstone is such a hard commodity to come by, it's going to be well worth it. Did I do something wrong here? Well, let's see here. The crusher is what we need first. Oh, we needed to put osmium in there, not iron. There we go. Now, the enriched alloy that we need for this other one should be... Oh, we have to have steel for that. Okay. So, there we go. There's one of our control circuits. And is that gonna be quiet anytime soon? Apparently not. So, the crusher now, we need this steel casing, which is 2 steel plates and an osmium ingot. I think I may have those steel... No, I got black steel. Ah, there we go, steel plates. And we need one of our red hammers. And we have our osmium ingots, so... Osmium ingot. Where's the steel sheets? And then the red hammer gives us the steel casing. Now we need a piston, 2 black steel sheets, which we've got those. And let's see here, do we have any of the other stuff that we need? It doesn't really look like it over here. So I need some cobblestone. Alright, so we'll make a piston. And of course we want to make as little of this stuff as possible at the moment because, well, resources are still very tight. So now, beyond that, we need our 2 black steel hammers, and we should have everything in our inventory now. And, boy, I tell you, eating a balanced diet sure is helping here. You can see I've got an incredibly high health rating now. So we grabbed our 2 black steel hammers, and so we need the 2 black steel sheets on the bottom, the black steel hammers on top of that, the piston on the bottom, this here, and I forgot what the rest of it was. Redstone and the control circuit. Okay, so that's not too bad. So we get our redstone and our control circuit. There we go, a crusher. So this is a... Whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to place that in here. Alright, let's try this again. So, yes, I'm using the black steel pick now. But so we'll place our crusher down here. And I think we'll just place it right there. Once again, we're going to need a low voltage wire and a connector. So we'll just connect this back this way. Yep, I was afraid of that. So we are going to have to move that. And I think what we'll do is we'll just move this hopper. And that should completely eliminate all problems there. So we connect here. There we go. We should be getting power in this thing. Yes, we are. So now, recipes on the crusher, we can take our our limonite and make it limonite powder. We don't want to do that. But we can crush our ingots into dusts. And, yeah, where on earth are they? What was that one? Oh, really? We can make flux with this. So we can now turn graphite into 6 graphite powder instead of the 4 in the quern. And I thought that I could do something else here. Well, maybe not. But anyway, this will make our graphite and kaolinite processing a heck of a lot easier. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a stack of that graphite and throw that in there. Well, we've got this machine now. So now the next thing is we're going to have to get the enrichment chamber. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of smithing, get these double steel ingots. And the enriched alloy, we already saw how to do that. So I'm going to get those double steel ingots, double red steel ingots, and I will be back. So I have everything here to make the enrichment chamber. So the enrichment chamber is the 3 double red steel ingots, steel casing, redstone, and the advanced control circuit. So let's see here. Oh, whoops. I forgot to make the steel plate. Ooh. That's no good. Okay, well, we will go ahead and get this real quick. We just need one of these. So I'm going to grab a little bit of flux. No inventory space. What to do? Okay, can I put the pig iron in there? No. Here, we don't need those at the moment. So there we go. So now we should have some steel ingots in here. So we're going to quick pull this stuff out, and we're going to put the steel back in with the flux, and this should make up the double steel. Now, in the meantime, we'll take a look here. In between clips, I built 2 more of the kinetic generators and built a couple more of the advanced windmills for those, and that produces more than enough power to run my crusher without the crusher running out of power. Now, that is partly because I made 2 energy upgrades to put in this thing, and it now only uses 45 RF a tick, whereas originally it used 80. And it also has a higher storage capacity. And I had this ejecting into this chest here, and you can see I crushed up a few things. It's a little bit easier just to mix the dusts to get to a certain point in this iron working than it is to smith ingots individually. So what I was doing was making the weak black steel powder and the weak red steel powder, and then smelting those in the blast furnace, and then I did the last little bit of smithing in the forges. So let's see, what was I getting? The double sheets. Okay, so now we need to let it make those, and actually we only need 1. Okay, so now we need to make the... Oh man, I got so much junk in my inventory. Gotta be able to do something here. Well, first off, before we do that, we're going to make this low voltage capacitor, because I want to be able to store some power from our windmills. So that takes 2 treated wood, a redstone, 2 copper, lead, and some wrought iron. So I don't think, yeah, I was 1 short on the redstone. So we had the 2 treated wood, redstone. How did that go? The lead in the center. I only have 1 copper on me. Let's grab another copper, and then also we need the 3 wrought iron. So let's do this again. And hopefully I don't screw it up this time if I can find everything. And so that's going to give us a capacitor so that it's basically a battery so that we can store some of our power. And it looks like those red steel ingots have finally cooled down. So now I'm going to drop those on the ground. So what was I waiting on here? I am not entirely sure. Nothing now. So now for the Enrichment Chamber, we need some osmium. So I have that over here. I'm really confused as to what's going on at the moment. So for that we needed our red steel hammer. So we better go grab that. So the red steel hammer, osmium, and 2 steel sheets makes our steel casing. Then the steel casing, the redstone around, the advanced control circuit on top, and I am 2 redstone short for what I'm doing. Boy, I'm having a terrible time. I thought I was ready, and I'm not ready at all. I guess that's the way that it goes sometimes. So there we go. We have our enrichment chamber. I'll drop that flux back off here. Now this thing will give us the ability to make a whole bunch of advances. So the first thing that I want to do is break this connector, and we're going to place it back. And now we are going to take our wires and connect those up here. We will start getting power into this enrichment chamber. So the first thing that we can do is take like one of our rich limonite here and throw that in here, and this will make 2 iron dust. Now this works great for making the wrought iron, but for the steel this doesn't work yet. So we can just take that iron dust and toss it in our steel furnace, and you know, that's great. That will give us a lot more iron for the amount of time that we spend mining. So the other thing that this will do is take our cinnabar and turn it into the most redstone we can get, which, like I said, was 12. So we'll go ahead and toss a little of this in there. And we're going to put this redstone in there, and we'll see this will pop out 12 redstone for every cycle of the machine. So that's great. That will give us tons of redstone. We've been needing that. So I'm just going to drop that cinnabar in here for the moment. Now I have a few extra enriched alloys and some basic control circuits that I haven't used. And also I made this engineer's voltmeter. I didn't know exactly what this was, but it kind of shows it's got an E and then a number, and I don't know what that number means, but when you right click on something, it'll tell you how much energy is stored in a block, which we don't really need because we've got Wayla. But yeah, I'm sure we'll figure out what that's for eventually. And also I've got some of this high carbon black steel dust. I didn't realize that I can't use this stuff yet. I have to have either the Immersive Engineering blast furnace or the electric arc furnace to run that stuff through. So it's going to be sitting in a chest for a little while I get everything figured out. But I do think I'm going to have to check and see how the length of the video is doing here, and depending on how things are looking will determine what happens next. So yep, I'm going to check on that. Be right back. So I hooked in this low voltage capacitor, and what I found out here is you can use the engineer's hammer to change the configuration on this thing. So what you want, it changes the face. So you want a blue face on wherever you want your input, an orange face on wherever you want your output, and then it will store any reserve power or excess power. So right now this thing is recharging, and as soon as it gets done charging, we should start to see the capacitor taking power. And actually, I think we can just disable this momentarily so that it charges fast, and then we will turn it back on. So this is now fully charged, and we can see now the capacitor is storing the additional power. So that's great. That'll give us a little bit of extra room for the other machines when they start using power. This thing only holds 100,000 RF, and I don't think that I can move up to the next levels of capacitors until I have medium voltage or transformers or something. And since I'm not producing that much power out of these anyway, I don't think that it's worthwhile at the moment, and I have to make Electrum for that. So I may make a few more of these low voltage capacitors and just stack them together, because we are going to be adding a lot more machines here as time goes on. But anyway, I have checked and we are out of time for today, so I'm going to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you're enjoying it. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, and you'll be able to see all of these videos right away. So I guess I will see you next time. Bye!